Hey folks, let me ask you a question. Do you ever feel like I've tried everything and nothing works? You've read the books, you've bought the training courses, you've been to the seminars, you've watched the videos, you tried the business, you tried real estate, you tried trading, and nothing worked. And right now you're feeling a little bit tired, feeling defeated, you're feeling frustrated. And like one person said to me last week, I just need to make money. I don't need anything else. I just need to make money. And I get it. I absolutely get it. In fact, I have felt every one of those emotions more than once in my life. And, you know, every phase of my life, every time there's a new challenge, I have different variations of that emotion. I remember back the first big breakthrough I had, which was around 2009. And I remember going into that. At that point in my life, I really hadn't succeeded at too much of anything. I mean, I'd succeeded, but not financially. And I felt like I had tried everything. I had done the real estate courses. I had done the multi-level marketing things. I had done my recording studio. I tried all these different businesses and trading and all these different things. And I felt like I just could not get ahead. I couldn't succeed. And one day there was a series of events that started to culminate. And there was one in particular where a man that I had become very good friends with, and he was kind of mentoring me some areas. He just gave me permission. He said, Jeremy, what is it you want to do? And I told him what I wanted to do. He said, why don't you go do it? And I told him all the reasons I couldn't do it. I said, well, I have this and I have this and I have that. I gave him all the excuses. And the big one was, look at me. My life is a wreck. How can I go out and do what I want to do when I am a complete disaster? And he sat me down, and I'm not going to go into all the details, but he gave me permission. He said, this is exactly the reason you can go out and do what you were created to do. And so I want to challenge you. You know, you might be feeling that way right now. You might be feeling like, I've done everything. And here's the reality. You haven't done everything. You haven't done everything. I'm just going to tell you flat out, you haven't done everything. I felt it before. You feel it maybe right now, but you haven't done everything. And for many of you right now, you're a 2-degree shift. Maybe you've heard me talk about this before. For those of you who don't know, I'm a private pilot. And whenever we get into the airplane and we set the autopilot, we set our heading bug and we say that this is where we're going to go and the autopilot will take you there. Well, one time I was flying from Nashville, Tennessee, where I live, down to Florida, and I got my heading off literally 2 degrees. So instead of the whatever the heading was, you know, it was 180 or 182, whatever it was, I was literally 2 degrees off. And at first, nobody noticed, but you carry that out over 50 miles, over 75 miles, and pretty soon, air traffic control comes on and says, they call my tail number. They say, do you realize you're 10 miles off course? Well, I thought I was fine, but I was 2 degrees off, way back here. And as you carry that all the way out, suddenly you're 10 miles off course. Many of you are only 2 degrees off, and you're looking at it and you're saying, you know, I feel like I'm 10 miles, 50 miles, 100 miles off course. In reality, all we need to do is course correct you and get you back on track. For many of you, that's where you are. I want you to know you're not broken. Maybe you're repeating some broken systems. I mean, we've all done that. Maybe we're doing the same things over and over again, but you are not broken. There's nothing wrong with you, and I want you to know that right now. What I want you to know is there's great news. There's great news. When you think about, I've tried everything and nothing works, here's the great news. It works for somebody. It works for somebody. And if it can work for somebody, then it means that there are people out there that are they are making the money. They are trading successfully. They are doing real estate successfully. They are doing the businesses successfully. There's someone that's out there that's doing it. There's many people, by the way. And if it can work for someone, then it should be able to work for anyone. If it can work for anyone, then it should be able to work for you, which means the common denominator is you. That might sound like, oh, see, I told you I was the problem. Well, you are the problem, but it's not a bad way. It's not in a bad way. Because you are the common denominator, what that means is you are the solution, and that is great news. The fact you're watching this video right now pretty much tells me you already know that you're the solution. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching this, because the only people that watch a video like this are people that know deep down that there's something more. They know that they have the power to make a change, and you know that. That's why you're watching this video. So let's ask a different question here. What is everything? If I were to say, I've tried everything and nothing works, what is everything. Can we define that? Possibly what you've really done is actually just run the same pattern, a defective pattern, over and over again. We all do that. I've done that. But what most of us do as human beings is we tend to run the same patterns over and over. And because we're putting a lot of effort into it, we feel like, oh, I'm doing all this stuff. I'm working over and over and over again, and I've done everything, and nothing's working. And in reality, we haven't done everything. We actually did the same thing over and over again. For some of you, it might not be that you don't know what to do. Most of you have a really good idea what to do. I have a really good idea what to do most of the time for the solutions that I need. And yet, what do we fall short of? Sometimes it's the consistency of following through. Sometimes it is that we've tried a lot of stuff, but we haven't had the right strategy yet. Or maybe we didn't have the right support network, and maybe we needed a coach. We needed somebody to work with us in it. But I can promise you this. You haven't tried everything. You haven't tried completely everything, because success is a formula, and it's a scientific formula. And if we do the system over and over again, if we follow the formula over and over again, we will have success. I'm going to give you the formula here in just a minute. But I just want you to know that success is a formula. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter if you're trading or if you're doing real estate, if you're doing business, your relationships. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Success is a formula. And the only way to truly fail, is to quit. It's the only way to truly fail. If you persist long enough, if you do the right things over and over again, and if the things that you're doing aren't working, if you change your strategy a little bit and you stay persistent, the only way to truly fail is to just quit, to give up completely. So let me give you the formula. Here's the formula, okay? I'm going to give it to you right now. Definite, specific outcome. You know exactly what it is that you want. That's a definite outcome, plus a qualified strategy. And I want to be clear here. Whenever I talk about a qualified strategy, it doesn't have to be the perfect strategy. You see, most of us get caught up on my strategy is not perfect. I'm not perfect. Look at how bad I am. No, it doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be a qualified strategy, a strategy that will work. Okay, so our definite outcome, a qualified strategy. Here's the next part of the formula: a consistent execution. Qualified strategy with a consistent execution of that strategy and the belief that it will work. If you have those things, a definite outcome, a qualified strategy, consistent execution of that strategy, and belief that it will work, guess what? Success will flow to you. Why? Because it is a formula. Because it's a formula. Now, you might be sitting here saying, but Jeremy, I tried it. I did the formula. I knew exactly what I wanted, and I just worked and worked and worked and worked and worked. Well, that's because there's two saboteurs that show up. Okay, so I just gave you the formula for success. Now I'm going to show you or share with you the two saboteurs that will take you out. They'll take you out at the feet, literally just like out of nowhere. You're like, where'd that come from? Well, it was a little saboteur coming to get you, right? What are the two saboteurs? Number one, it's doubt. Now, doubt is the opposite of belief. Doubt is the opposite of faith. Whenever you start something big, when you start something new, you have to develop the muscle of unconditional faith. You know this is going to work, and you're willing to go all in. Unconditional faith. I'm going to believe even though it sounds ridiculous. That's called unconditional faith. And what most of us do is most of us let our past experiences and our past failures, our past patterns, all these different things that we've experienced in our life, we let those things stack up and define our future before we even try the future. Because they're telling us, oh, it didn't work then, it's not going to work in the future. That's not faith. That's not belief. If you want to succeed, part of the formula is, yes, you have to know what you want. Most people don't actually know what they want, therefore they never get it. You have to know what you want. You have to have a strategy, a qualified strategy, a strategy that will work. Okay, you have to follow through with the strategy, and then we got to believe it. That's the part that makes all this magic come together. So the saboteur that shows up is on an unconscious level. We have this doubt, and the moment doubt creeps in, guess what happens? Boom, we come spiraling down, because doubt is kryptonite to faith. Doubt is kryptonite to belief. You know what kryptonite is, right? It's what took Superman down. And what takes down your belief, what takes down your faith is doubt. So that's the first saboteur that will show up. And you have to find ways to condition your belief. Find ways to condition your faith so that it can't be knocked sideways by a little bit of doubt. Okay, here's the second thing that will sabotage you, and it is this. It is your old programming. Revert to old programming. And your old programming is always rooted in limiting beliefs. Or actually, it can be rooted in a lot of different things, but it always manifests in limiting beliefs. These are the boundaries that we can operate in. And I did a video on that not too long ago. You can go back and watch that one on limiting beliefs. But the two saboteurs that will show up is your doubt. You doubt that it can happen. And your old programming kicks in and it says, well, today I'm just tired. I'm so tired today. I'm going to pop my feet up. I'm going to watch the football game. I'm going to keep watching the football game. Then I'm going to watch the next game. Then I'm going to watch the next game. Next thing you know, you spent your entire weekend watching football, or your entire weekend watching baseball, or, whatever it is. Maybe it was figure skating, or I don't know, whatever it was. The point is that there's a pattern, right? And we all operate this way. And what patterns are is they are actually the experiences that we've experienced in our past coming back to repeat over and over again. That's why you feel like you've tried everything and nothing worked. You tried it, and then you did it again, and then again, and again, and you're expecting different results. So that's what I think it was Einstein called that insanity. That is the definition of insanity, right? To try the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. So here's what I want you to know. You are not hopeless. There's always something else to try. No, we haven't tried everything. It might feel like it, but we haven't tried everything. And here's what I want you to know about that. Number one, you're not hopeless. Number two, you are the most powerful creator in your life. I can't do it for you. Nobody else can do it for you. I can inspire you. I can point you in a direction. I can share these thoughts with you. But you and you alone have the power to create the reality, to create the outcome that you want in your life. You're the only one who can do it, okay? So let's stop believing the stories that we've tried everything and nothing worked. And instead, let's change that narrative. And if we really want the outcome, if we say, I really do want this, I want the success, I want the financial success, the relationship success, whatever it is that we're going for, if we really want it, instead of believing the story, I tried everything and nothing worked, let's flip it around and say, I'll do anything. I will do anything to get my outcome because something will work. And if you have that little shift right there from I've tried everything over to I'll do anything, I'll try anything, whatever it takes, I'm determined to succeed. Once we make that little shift, it's amazing how so many things start to open up. So if you don't mind, I'd like to talk a little bit about my Income Engine Incubator, which is a new mastermind that I've been putting together. And this is actually the culmination of everything we've been talking about in this video. We started this thing off saying, I've tried everything and nothing works. Well, we also said that success is a formula, and that formula, if it's followed, will eventually lead to success. And just like success is a formula, so is income. Creating income is a formula. In fact, a lot of people think that income is their definition of success. So we're going to take the same formula and we're going to apply it to income. And for this incubator, what we're going to do is we're going to start with our definite outcome, just like we talked about in the video. So what is that definite outcome for this incubator? That outcome is to start up little income engines. These are little micro businesses, opportunities that will continue to pay you as you grow them and systematize them. It's passive income for you. And we're going to start those up in 90 days. You're going to have your very first income engine that will be paying you. Now, the second step of the process is what? To have a qualified strategy. And I'm going to give you that. I'm going to give you strategies, techniques that we've used, techniques that we know work, and I'm going to show you how to implement them, how to execute them so you have the strategy. The third step is what? Consistency, following through, consistent execution. And where a lot of people fall short is they just don't have the environment to support their consistent execution. It's part of what this mastermind is going to solve. You'll have access to other people that are in the group with you. So they're doing the exact same thing. They're going through the same exercises. They're building their own businesses, their own little income engines, and they're getting their systems up and running, following the same formula, following everything. It's basically personalized, but systematized, if that makes any sense. So they're doing the same thing. They're on the journey with you. You also have one-on-one private coaching sessions with me. So that's pretty powerful. Talk about consistency and, accountability. What better way to do it than have the people that are going through it with you and have direct access to me? So there, we're starting to get it all. We've got one more piece of the formula. What was it? It was belief, right? So we have a definite outcome. We're going to start up our income engine in less than 90 days. We've got our strategy, qualified strategy. We've got consistency, right? And we got to have belief. And look, I realize right now you might be feeling like you've tried everything and nothing worked. I promise you, I have enough belief for both of us, okay? I've been down this road. I've executed it. I can believe for a little while. Eventually, you've got to believe as well, okay? We got to get you over the hump so you can believe in it, because if you don't believe it, you'll never get to the other side. It's a key part of the formula, which is why maybe the most magical part of the mastermind is we're taking a very large chunk of this to dig into specifically mindset. And we talked about how the two saboteurs show up: doubt, and then the experiences you've had, the patterns you've been running up until now. We're going to go into both of those areas. We're going to go in, figure out what's causing the doubt, identify when the doubt shows up, create some different techniques and different strategies to remove that doubt so we can convert that into belief, convert that into unconditional faith. And then as far as the patterns are concerned, we're going to identify these limiting beliefs, these limiting patterns that have been following you around possibly for decades, and we're going to dissolve them, and we're going to try to get rid of them. No, we're going to try about it. We're going to get rid of them. I got several amazing techniques and just mental processes that we can do to target those disciplines or lacks of disciplines, whatever it is there, the patterns, and dissolve it once and for all so that you're free to do everything that you want to do. And what's the end result? The end result is in 90 days, we're going to be up and running with your very first income engine. So if that sounds like something that's exciting to you, something you're interested in, click below. There's some information. You can go check it out and schedule a call. Let's get on the phone. Let's talk about it. Let's see if it's a good fit for you. If it's a good fit for you, then obviously I would be thrilled to have you join us. And if it's not a good fit for you, then, that's great. No harm, no foul. But for many of you, it's exactly what you need. You need the formula, you need the accountability, and most importantly, we need to get in there, uproot those limiting beliefs, convert that doubt into belief and into faith so that we can get up and running with your first income engine. Okay? Folks, thanks for watching. I hope you got a lot out of this video, and I just want to remind you, your dreams were given to you by your creator. The only thing that's standing between where you are and where you want to be in life are the actions you take and the stories you choose to believe about yourself. So it's time to take every one of those thoughts captive. It's time to remove the limitations and step into the life that you were created to live. It's time to break out and live extraordinary. Hope you have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.